What the fuck's going on, guys? Caleb Fast here with the Fastest Growing Podcast on the planet Earth. I'm here with my boy Thraxx. You already know. We're bringing the heat tonight because I fucked up the first Real Kevin interview I made. But listen, big round of applause for Real Kevin. Jay from Real Kevin is here tonight.
Wow, you guys are very nice.
Here in the building. We're back to do it again, round 2, because I pulled a Cody and I fucking lost. I lost the footage from round 1. So
that's how it goes.
I'm sorry to hear it.
That's how it goes sometimes.
That was an epic interview too.
that was an epic interview. We still have the audio. The audio will still come out. This is Real Kevin number 2. This is Jay from Real Kevin.
Fuck.
You already know how you doing today, bro.
I'm well. I'm
Doing
very
good?
well. How about
Hanging
yourself?
in there, bro. I'm doing good. Like I said before in our little private rendezvous there for about 5 minutes before we started this, you know, my career's going good. My personal life's under like reconstruction. Like there's yellow tape on that shit.
It'll never end, man.
Yeah.
You know what? And that, you know what? Like, speak to that, bro. Speak to like you know what? That's a great place to start.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at that musically. Was there ever a point where you started where you were like, you know what? Or a point where you got to where you're like, fuck all this shit. I'm fucking done with all this shit.
Music wise? Yeah. Like yeah and no. I was in a screamo band for a while when I was like real young.
That's right. I remember that.
And I said fuck that because it was like very very much trendy, and I was like, this is not really.
You were just kind of doing it because it was popular?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I dug it at the time, but also it got old real fucking quick. Every band sounded the same. And then
100%.
And then I was in a terrible like white guy reggae band for a while.
Crazy.
Really sublime sounding band that we're not very good.
Yeah.
But that was fun.
Like white guy reggae?
Like really bad, like tried to be sublime, essentially. Like big mistake.
That's how I feel about like...
Like I give you shout outs for trying. That's like, I don't think anyone else has since.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about like shout out Street Pharmacy, but that's how I feel about Street Pharmacy.
Yeah, it was around the time those guys were big. I was like trying to do something in that vein, and we just like
It didn't work. So when did you go about? So you quit those two. You're like, this isn't it. When did Real Kevin form officially?
I
don't even know if we asked on the first one.
I was writing and recording just originals just on my own for a while.
Yeah.
And didn't have a name for that project. And then I ended up calling it the Steves after a friend of mine, Michael Stevens, whose nickname was Steves.
Yeah.
And it was really more like a prank on him than anything to call it that, because
Yeah.
we played gigs. I'm like, the first album cover is a picture of him.
Yeah.
Hammered. And like,
Yeah.
So like I just more than anything like did it to piss somebody, like to bug
Half
bug
of like a
friend.
joke.
Yeah. And then we were playing gigs for a while under that name with like some of like what is now Real Kevin shit. And another band named the Steves popped up out of nowhere from like Winnipeg or Saskatchewan somewhere.
I think I remember.
Did I mention
it was
this?
like the Maritimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they booked a gig at the Horseshoe Tavern, and then
Classic
the guy
story.
from there messaged me by accident
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, you guys still good for thing?" And I pretended I was somebody.
The Horseshoe
like,
Tavern booking guy.
Yeah, I pretended I was our that we had fired our manager or something, and that I took over, and we'll be there. And then when the gig showed up, he realized his mistake and that two bands named the Steves were showing up, and he felt bad and was like, "I'll throw you guys a gig in June." So we ended up playing there, but I was like, "This is a fucking problem." Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, this is a long ass story now. I'm realizing.
No.
So
People want to know.
we had to fix that name. And I remember when we had there in high school, there were two guys named Kevin, and there was like one that like was very much considered the asshole, like douche Kevin, but it wasn't like, you don't want to call that guy douche Kevin. So to spite him, we just called the other Kevin Real Kevin all the time.
So there you go. There's your explanation. On that.
So yeah, and I didn't want to be
I was gonna ask.
I didn't want to be the real Steves because that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And that's also like spiting this other Steves band, and it's not their fault.
No.
They just chose a name I also thought was cool at the time. So
Literally.
yeah, so we just went with the Real Kevin solution.
And that's how everything came to be.
Yeah, and then here we are. Terrible band name. Not the best. Not my favorite. It checked boxes.
I
Mainly,
like it.
mainly, no one had it. It's easy to spell. No one's like, how do I find that? So that's easy. And if you Google it, there's a guy named Kevin from the Real World, I think, like season 2 or something. He'll show up, but like not anymore. We beat his ass.
So you guys are right there. That's proper then, because it's also like something like I seen the Real Kevin and like it's stuck in my head. You know what I mean? Because it's not something
nice
you're
to
gonna
hear.
see. It's really different and weird, to be honest. You know what I mean? But in a good way, like where
Good.
it's stuck in my head. It's the first time I seen it.
My main concern was that
I feel
during
the
this
same.
Twitter era that like people calling themselves the real whatever is the handle on things. I was a
Yeah.
little concerned people would think that it's some guy
named
Kevin who was like, "No, I'm real Kevin," and I was just like, I don't know how this looks. And then a band shows up and plays, but that's cool. I like to kind of subvert expectations that way as well.
100%.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
How'd you get Caleb Fast?
So Caleb Fast was that was a tough one for me to come up with, you know. I sort of just took my middle name and my last name and just put them together.
No shit.
Yeah.
My middle name is Jay. Actually, I go by my middle name as well.
So what's your first name?
Is Jonathan
Jonathan J.
Knelson.
Knelson.
Yeah, you pronounce the K for some reason, some German reason, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but my dad was John as well, so they called me by my middle name my whole life.
Yeah. Well, his parents named him after weed.
No way.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't named after weed. I was named after St. Nicholas. Yeah, my real name's Nick Merwa. Nicholas West of Merwa. I was thinking about changing. I've been thinking about changing my music name to Nick West. I have an album called Nick West. People
West?
call it, yeah, West.
With the T, okay.
Western. But people always
okay.
call me Nick West or Nick Marijuana or Thraxx. So I'm like, maybe Nick West because like it's a little more professional, but everyone knows me as Thraxx.
Again, easy to spell too, man.
Yeah.
Very important.
So one thing I noticed was discography-wise, everything on Spotify is newer, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
Everything on Spotify is newer. So the first, it was like 2 projects, front one and then back, like a vinyl, right? 94.
Yeah. So 94 is the thing I did during quarantine,
Right.
and it was just like I ended up having like 30 songs recorded, so I was like, sweet, let's package these, and in the worst marketing possible, release 16 songs at the same time. Fucking
Artistically, it's what you want to do,
dumb.
but
Fucking dumb. You know who likes that? People who are huge fans of a band already.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Nobody knew who we
It's
were,
true.
and we were here's 16 songs. You know how hard it is to get somebody to listen to fucking 10 seconds of a song?
Literally.
Yeah, so 16 tracks was a big old waste
Yeah.
of money and time.
Yeah.
So we've been in the process of pulling a bunch of shit offline because it's like, what are we even doing?
Really?
Oh yeah, because then I can actually like stagger a release of some of the stuff,
Properly promote it.
maybe record it properly and not the demo from my bedroom. And
Yeah, but we got to get into that. So like when you guys go and actually listen to this project, which I highly encourage you to do, 94, I believe the one that I like the most is the one that's actually spelled 94, and then you'll see one on Spotify that's like apostrophe 94.
one's real heavy.
Yeah. I thought
It's two albums. One's like indie
well,
rock,
it's like
and
imagine
one's
like
grunge.
imagine like a proper vinyl, like where like one side is one thing and then the next side is the other. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what they kind of went for, right?
Also, couldn't decide what kind of band I wanted to be in. So
Fair enough, but when you guys go and listen to this actual project, like the shit sounds crazy. And then I remember in the first interview I asked Jay, I was like, "Where do you record your shit?" And he's like, "I record it myself." And I found that extremely impressive. I found that extremely impressive because the shit does sound very proper. And we've recorded some shit in a basement that's out that actually sounds like shit. You know what I'm saying? No, for
I've
sure.
heard your stuff, man. It all sounds great.
No. There's a lot of songs on that first project that are fucked up.
But
Cold Winter is fucked up. Shut Up Pine, it has nothing to do with him. That song is just fucked up. Wild Side's fucked up.
I think
but
those are
though. Like I make all my songs that I make are really good, but I've spent 12 years, 13 years engineering, and I've spent them doing like for others and myself, so I didn't have to rely on an engineer. Like you're going, shout out to Corey, but like you're going back and forth to Toronto, and you're like, and it's still not done, and you're still working on it. It's like I can't hold my music and I can't listen to it for 2 years. You know what I mean? Because then I'm not going to put it out. It's just going to be discarded. Like I need to become like able to make songs in my basement, in wherever, you know what I mean? Because that's where the inspiration is too. If you're just booking a studio session, you're not going to have, even if you write a song one day, or like it's not going to be the same as if you go and record it right then and you're able to just go and record whenever. Then if you write a song and then you're like, wait till you go to the studio, it's not going to sound the same ever. It's never going to sound the same. Sorry, I got a little fucking.
No. Well, I just think to add on that, like I feel like my like style of recording though has changed though. Like I used to like write shit, and I feel like if I'm going with like a concept album, then I'll write it. But I don't know about you, like where it's like I feel like the pressure's on when I'm at the studio to like actually make good shit because I'm fucking paying for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden
Light
the
the fire.
floodgates open, and I'm like, oh shit, like, you know, we're fucking But back to what we were saying about how you made that all in your basement. Like, you think that you guys can make your shit sound even better then?
Yeah.
Is what you're
Oh
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
It's not like quite a bit of that is like patchwork of like I recorded it the only way I was capable of doing it at that time. Like I couldn't like it was hard to get drum sounds proper. It was hard to like I lived in an apartment. I didn't have a fucking jam space. I had nothing. So
Yeah.
it was like finding ways to get either lift drum parts from songs I liked or record. Like I would stick a mic up to just a snare and record just that piece, and then I'm recording. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it takes
creating
forever,
samples
too.
and shit took fucking so long. But I had nothing.
How
but
long
time.
would you say it took you to make that whole one? Hours.
Hours?
How many hours?
Oh God, I don't fucking know. Like each track, if I'm just talking about recording and producing it, not actually having to write it as well, recording and producing it has got to be up to 20 hours a track to lay down. Because like, again, it was quarantine.
Like engineering is like mixing and all
Yeah,
that too. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Holy
again, that's
Like 10
fuck.
hours into a track, like I probably like I'll sit down there while if I record something, and then I'll mix it for like an hour or two, and then I'll go back to it and then put another 3
you get
hours.
ear fatigue too, right?
Yeah.
So like after maybe an hour,
Yeah.
you got to fucking put it down.
Yeah, you can't
And
go
then-
too long with it.
I
And
put it
like
on a
going back
USB,
so I
bring it
can-
in the car, listen to it there, fucking
Yeah.
hate it. Then you bring it home again, listen to it with 3 different sets of headphones. Then I listen to it on my laptop. Does it sound like shit there? Because that's how a lot of people are going to hear it. Like, it's just a never-ending thing.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
That's fucked up. So that's like over 300 hours basically on that album.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes total sense though. It does make sense. Like, yeah. The more I think about it, yeah, because like I think about like songs like Tsunami and stuff, and like those really like heavily produced songs that I have, and like yeah, they took 2 months to make. 2 months to make, and we were recording once a week for 4 hours, 4, 8, 12, 16 times 2, yeah, 30 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
The more time you put into it, the honestly, the more worth it is. So, like, I mean, sometimes
I do find it's a little like an artist who
Yeah.
didn't sell a painting, though, because I can't fucking stop going back to it and going,
Okay.
actually, I could tweak this.
I try to like a lot of my friends are perfectionists. When it comes to this music, it's like I can't like hold on to it for too long either. You know what I mean? I'll do the hour or two of mixing it, then like let go of it for a little, like not listen to it, then go listen to everything like you were saying, like different headphones, speakers, and then like the laptop. I'll go finish the mix, the master, and then like that's it, right? I don't want to have it for a week. I don't want to have it for too long. And like
So
my
you gotta pick
friends
a
will
prod.
never have these amazing songs. Everyone has such amazing songs, but they're just trying to tweak it. It's like they're never gonna finish that though.
Well, and a
They're
lot of
never
the
gonna
time
see
it's...
it. Like
You're hearing with your eyes a lot of the time too, where like you have this cool plugin you didn't
Yeah.
use yet,
yeah.
so it's like that would sound dope with that on there, and you put it on there and it doesn't sound fucking any different because you barely touched it. It's like a lightest compression ever, and then it's like, no, that does sound better. Then it's like, does it? Did it really? You just made it shitty actually, because when somebody brings
Overcomplicating it. That's why it's good. That's why it's good. You're right. That's why it's good to like if you guys are going to take the approach of like, okay, like we'll make demos in the basement and then go record at the studio. It's probably better to take that approach because you're working with somebody who's like impartial to the art. Like they don't care about they care about like making the product good. You know what I'm saying? But they're not as emotionally invested in it as you are. You know what I'm saying? So they're almost like unbiased. It's almost like getting advice from somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still not letting anybody else touch it.
Yeah.
No, I still record it all myself, but now I'm doing it differently.
Okay.
I'm doing it with fresh gear and with the other guys that I can actually see now in
and that you
person.
can bounce shit off of.
So instead of me playing every instrument, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you're going to actually play the fucking...
Yeah, okay. So you still want it to be like your own creations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now we'll have
100%.
it professionally mastered by somebody.
Yes.
With real, like, great hardware gear.
That's the part that'll probably make the big difference for you.
Yeah, like...
Because you won't have to do all that.
No, I just produce it. Like, I'll mix it
Yes.
myself and record it myself and be the sound engineer and all that shit. The reason I like doing all of that stuff is almost, I would say, like, probably 70% of the writing of the song for me is that process.
Yeah.
I have, every time I pick up a guitar, my goal is to write something.
Yeah.
So my phone is just full of notes, and every fucking song can be broken down to it's chord progression and a vocal melody over top of that.
Yeah.
And then everything past that is a choice based on your preference for style. So you can change the rhythm of that chord progression, you can change the tempo, you can change fucking where it's played, what instrument it's played on, what beat's going underneath it. All of that will suit whatever genre you're trying to put it into. But when you strip everything down, it's fucking singing over chords.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%.
So when I have my notes and I'm like, this vocal melody is really cool over this chord progression, that's like the bare bones of it.
Yeah.
Then I start recording, and every other decision needs to be made along the way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what kind of beat do I want on this? What kind of fucking bass line do I want to write to that? Everything else has to happen there. Again, within the constraints of your limitations that I play in a 3-piece band with a bass player and a drummer only.
Right.
But it's still like, what
So
can
there's
you
only
do?
3 of you?
Yeah.
That's cool. I have like a band. It's only 2 of us, but my friend knows how to play like every instrument, and I'm okay at it. So like we
So
can
what do you
make
guys
it happen.
to perform
We don't.
live?
We haven't
what's
really
your-
performed live.
No?
We've just done like an album, like a little tape.
There's a lot of awesome duos out there
Yeah.
that get their stuff on social platforms and then hire a band
True.
to play with. So like once your stuff was getting some recognition at all,
Yeah.
that MGMT band was like that.
Oh yeah.
That's what
Just
I
two
want.
dudes.
That's what I want.
Same with the USS. I don't know if you know that band. They're Canadian guys.
The USS.
They're called USS, Ubiquitous Synergy Seeker.
No.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
They're a duo that were writing a bunch of
Okay.
stuff and did like same thing where it's a couple guys that play instruments, produced it all themselves.
Yeah.
And then got a few radio hits and like touring everywhere. Just hired a band to play with them, and
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
You were saying like that's what you want.
Yeah.
Me and Pine were talking the other day, and we were like, yeah, like Caleb needs a band. We're like, you could be like the Bob Marley and the Wailers, but like Caleb Fast and like the.
Yeah. And just not at all that genre.
No, not that genre, but you know what I mean.
That- yeah,
You know what I
that-
mean? Like,
that is a-
Caleb Fast and whatever.
Yeah, that is eventually what I want. Would be to have like a touring band you just pay to.
Tame Impala was started like that too,
To-
man. That
to
was all
do
that
it.
one guy.
Because then it's like they essentially like work for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like, you know, it's like kind of like I like the my way or the highway sort of approach. Like I don't know, I just do.
It's tough. I'll tell you, it's tough doing that with your friends.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why like I know we got into it in like the first podcast, but like we can get into it again too because more people watch this because it has the video. But it's like like I could never have like. At least not at this stage in my career, like an actual band with like people that I cared about. You know what I'm saying? That were like really friends with me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I could make a band. Like I know people that would play all the instruments, and like we could make a band. But I'm anal as fuck. Like I'm crazy. You know me. I'm fucking nuts. I'm out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
So it's like I would tear that shit apart like faster than fucking you could blink. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like.
I totally hear you, bro.
I need to have like creative control. I just like do, you know. How does that play out in your band? Like who is like you're the lead face of the band, obviously. So are you the one who sort of kind of dictates the way things go, or is it really like an open 3-way like communication pause? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't like doing anything that the other guys don't want to do. Is my kind of like my marker. Like if I really am passionate about a decision that I'm making, I need to convince them because I don't want to be pulling people along. If you're not fucking on
Right.
board with me,
Yeah.
it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, thankfully, like the drummer John me and him have been friends forever. He's the person with the closest music taste to mine that I've ever met, and that really helps. And then we just have the most sweetheart bass player ever who is just happy. He loves fucking playing music.
Legend.
Some of his music tastes is. I give him shit for it a little bit, but he's just the most awesome guy ever.
and that's probably what you need too. Is you need one guy who's super easygoing,
yes,
right? You need maybe like two guys who are like
he's glue,
pretty,
man. That guy's the glue.
and one guy who's like, come on, guys, like,
Yep.
come on, like this is we're boys, like like, we're friends, like
Me and John are like brothers, and,
Fuck.
so we fucking
Get after it.
a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
100%.
of course.
It's just the way, like, how do you go about, like, handling conflict in the band? Like, is it as simple as a relationship where you just two people have to sit down, talk it out, and see if you can come to some sort of agreement, and if you don't agree, then you just fucking kind of drop it, and it is what it is?
We don't really have.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
conflict.
even...
It's honestly it's pretty easy. We're pretty easy to make decisions because like I'm the only singer. Like I sing leads, by the way. Johnny does all harmony stuff. But as far as like we can't. Most of it comes down to like does this song sound good or not? And generally the three of us agree every time of like that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you know what? That song went over great. Let's keep playing it.
Yeah.
The one lucky thing we have is like a pool of probably like 70 songs or something.
Yeah.
That we can kind of keep going back to and be like, let's try
Okay,
this
what are
one.
we
Let's try
doing?
this
Yeah.
one. And if they go over like a fucking
That helps.
wet fart,
That's so
then
huge.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so huge for new artists in the beginning, in the first place. Anyway, for like people who want to start making music, is like just start making music because like you're gonna. It's kind of like.
I'll tell you, nothing is sacred, man. Write as much as you can.
Yeah.
Buddy from, I don't know, keep using fucking ridiculous examples, but Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, before Weezer was a band, assigned himself the project of write and record 50 songs. And he did. And like all but maybe 2 of them were songs that ended up on their first album, which was a fucking huge hit, broke them.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing ever. He recorded it all
Is that the
himself.
White Album?
Blue Album.
Okay. Yeah.
From 1994. One of the reasons that album was called 94, by the way, is like almost all albums that I love were out before that year.
Oh,
Like,
that's
made
interesting.
it out before that year
That's
came out.
interesting.
Yeah. 94 is a great year, man,
Yeah.
for music.
For sure.
Unplugged in New York, Park Life by Blur,
Yeah.
Ill Communication by the Beastie Boys. It's all fucking there.
So what do you think about the new school? Like, what do you think about like the music coming out now? And I'm talking like radio hits. Like I'm talking like radio hits, like top 100. What do you think? What do you think? Because you know, if I were to say what I think, like I think some of it's fire. I think some of it's fire for sure, but it's a lot of like hot garbage mixed in, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. There's become... It's a double-edged sword, man. It seems that everybody ever that even thinks, hey, I'm different and I can write a song, is capable of writing, recording. Everybody, all the programming is at everyone's fingertips without anybody in the way telling you can't, which was never the case before this generation.
It's facts.
80s, not 90s, 70s, 80s, all of that shit.
It's facts.
If you were shit at your instrument, not only did your parents not fucking pay for any lessons or anything like
Yep.
that, like you were like, okay, you're not doing this anymore. No one supported and propped up their kids back then like they do
Yeah.
now.
It's facts.
Everybody's a fucking superstar, and everyone has the technology to record and write at their fingertips, which is fucking amazing because it's another expression that you maybe never had, or an outlet kids never had.
Yeah, like
before.
my genre 20 years ago didn't exist at all, really.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
While that is awesome, it also saturates the market so fucking heavily that it's so goddamn hard to poke through now, especially with the fact that the deck is stacked against you, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you to make it, including the record companies, because they have plants and other people who they have full control over from the get-go.
Yeah.
Anybody with control is not a good thing for them. So if you're running anything yourself, no one's going to help you. What you're doing, it's admirable. But you're starting off fucking already. Same with me. We're starting. I'm even worse than you because I fucking am playing an instrument. Nobody cares about that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Playing a guitar is something from almost 100 years ago now.
I mean, I care about it, right?
And the other thing too is I'm gonna say this for sure, flat out, is that like, bro, like I feel like the energy at concerts, like actual shows with like bands, is like way better than like the energy at my shows. Not unless like, okay, like when we did like it depends, but I feel like if it's all people like of my genre, the energy's not as good, bro. It's just not. I feel like the live instruments still like surpasses like what I'm doing like tenfold. I think it just does.
Yeah.
I love playing gigs with you because it's such a fucking breath of fresh air of not... Anytime I play a gig, it's like 3 other bands, all disgruntled dudes that are just fucking like, no one's here for us.
I know.
You're so positive and your music is so different than what the rest of the bill is.
I know.
That it's a nice like, oh, I'm not watching the same
That's
fucking
why
band I just heard again.
It's nice to blend. That's like, you know, like too many people on a bill of my, like for example, this next Bar Orwell bill we have, which is in like 2 weeks, is like sick because it's me, 2 solo artists and 2 bands. So it's like solo artist to start the night. No, band to start the night, solo artist, band, me. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just like, you know, it's just interesting.
The
that,
little festival.
Exactly.
It'd be a good vibe. Like you were saying, like the instruments, bro, the live instruments, though, like I think
just
nobody
an energy.
cares.
It's just such a
Maybe not
fuck you energy,
many
you know,
people
like-
care nowadays, but like when you're when a band's performing and they're like everyone's playing their instruments, like it hits everyone's way more hyped. You know what I mean? Than just the beat playing in the background.
Yeah, I feel like it can have an effect on people when it's done right. And the problem I find with a lot of places is your hassle with the sound.
Yeah.
Having proper sound at a gig is fucking so hard.
Yeah.
You have an advantage there again. The fact that your mix sounds good on the way to the signal.
Yeah.
Right? Like the signal you're sending has a proper mix already.
Yeah.
Where for us, like it's like I think I'm loud enough on stage. I don't fucking know what it sounds like out front. I think my voice is loud enough. I have no idea.
Literally.
I think our drummer's not absolutely demoing the fucking mix because he plays so goddamn loud.
Yeah.
Right? You think, I don't know, but you can't tell. No. So I'm so relying on a sound guy.
Yeah.
To make sure we don't sound like completely out of whack.
All over the
that it doesn't matter. We could get off and be like, man, we killed it. I'm like, I never sang that good in my life. And someone might be like, I couldn't really hear you.
Yeah.
And it's
I've never really thought about like how like with like, because you could have problems with sound anywhere, but like as a band, like you really are in the dark. You don't know.
Oh fuck yeah.
Like if it's actually good or not. I've never thought about that. That's crazy.
Especially when you're like part of the deal is like you have to trust so much that sometimes you might not be that loud on stage.
Yeah.
Because you're mic'd up. So they're pumping you through the speakers and they want to keep stage volume down a little bit so you're not bleeding into the vocal mic. Yeah. And so you're not fucking up the drummer's kick mic.
True.
And there's like all these little things that come into play to try to like make the mix as best as they possibly can. And it, like you said, you're completely in the dark.
Yeah, it's 10 times harder thinking about it than if it's just Caleb or me, like one person on stage relying on a beat that we know is okay at right height. We've done like a vocal check, right? And it's all good.
Yeah.
But with with the band, you're relying on, it's like so many different things.
And then you bring monitors into it where it's like, oh, I want a little more bass in my monitor, or I want some more of the drummer's voice in my head. And it's like, cool. So it sounds great to me. And I'm the only person that hears that.
Literally, though.
Like, I can hear me. Great. I sound fucking great. And then it's like, no one else could hear you, actually.
And it's like, as much as you like to think that, like, the amount of shows you do will start making that easier and easier, and, like, to a degree, like, I'm sure that's the case. But, like, man, like, even,
you
like...
need a new sound guy every gig.
Bro, like, literally. And, like, you know, like, even we just had a show... on, when was it, Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
On Friday in Hamilton. And, like, Ian, God bless him, our sound guy is, like, super good. And, like, we just couldn't get my shit to fucking go off of here.
It was bugging out.
Yeah, there was just latency. And there wasn't, like...
Things kept popping up. It was being really weird. Like, literally a track would, like, be there, but then disappear. Or, like, just pop. Like, I was standing there at one point, and it just... A track just popped up on top of the track out of nowhere. He wasn't touching or anything. And we were just... Someone was performing, and it went over top. And we're like... What is this happening? It keeps happening. It kept happening. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
You know, sometimes like technical difficulties happen like that. Like, and Ian's really good. I know he can hold it down, right? It wasn't anything to do with him. It was just
shit happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
shit
man.
happens.
Take me back, Jay. Take me back to like the start of like what even got you interested in music, because I know it's different for everybody. Like, how old were you? What was going on at the time? Like,
real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
Just so because I don't want to fly off of this yet. What is your backup scenario? Have you ever imagined, or have you ever like thought of going analog with some of your stuff?
What does that mean?
So like instead of running like a digital setup, having your tracks actually bounced out onto a physical medium of some kind and using that, and then and if you're gonna use like vocal effects, having an actual pedal that you're running your mic through, and that's your vocal effects, and not using the computer for it. Or is that fucking sound stupid because of how convenient?
No,
it's. I just wonder what you do in that situation for backup. Yeah.
Well, currently, like, there is no backup. So, like, let's say...
Do you have all of your shit on a USB just in case that you can fire into a board? Or, like, what's your...
That's what we need to do?
Well, I would have access to all my beats, basically. So, like, in theory, like, you know, we could do something like... You know, if I had them on my phone, I could just, like, send them to somebody to play it, like, off an aux cord, probably. Worst came to worst, but like as far as like vocal effects and shit,
in
no.
that scenario, are your vocals on those tracks though, and you're singing along to them?
Fuck, it could be that bad in certain circumstances. Yeah, like I'm definitely like heavily reliant on the MacBook.
Yeah,
heavily.
And is that not fucking terrifying sometimes?
Yeah, it's terrifying all the time because it's like everything somehow seems to fucking change all the time. I don't know how or fucking why, but like I'm starting to learn how to like get used to like running all this shit myself so that I can have a very like vast understanding of at least how to run my own sound on shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like for some reason, every single show that we've been doing, like there's, except for the one we did with you, because you're very knowledgeable on like how to work this shit, something's been fucking up.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Something just, but you know what? That's just life though. Something always like, you know what I mean? You could have everything in place and then it's just like, no matter, you know, like something doesn't work. It could literally just not be working.
There are multiple backups for every fucking thing I do.
Yeah.
Like I have a backup route for if something goes wrong with the bass or his amp or his pedal board or my pedal board or my guitar.
Yeah.
Like every fucking, I have
a
multiple
real
mics. Yeah, I'm like terrified. One of the reasons I say that is I've played gigs with other bands and that's great and you can kind of borrow somebody's shit. But doing cover stuff, you're the only fucking band there. They hired you. They're going to pay you well, and you have to play for 3 hours. If something fucks up and you're not near your house, you're so fucked. And I've had it once where I'm like, I don't know what I do. And I like luckily got a hold of somebody to drive a guitar out for me.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's enough to make you want to shit yourself.
Bro, it is like so stressful. Like people have no idea. That's why like, man, when I get like people like really ripping on me online and shit, I'm just like, dude, like go fuck yourself. Like you have legit no idea like how hard like all of this shit is to do, let alone like the worst part for me is like, fuck. That's why it's like when something's not working audio wise before a show, it mentally sends me like, ask him, bro. Like I on Friday at the Hamilton show, I was fucking with nobody's shit, bro. I was not in a good mood, bro, because it's like I'm trying to mentally get myself to a point where I don't know if you're just like you're professional, so it's like I don't know if you can just like flip a switch and turn it on. Nice. I don't know, like you carry yourself that way and you handle your shit like real proper. For me, I have to like get myself into the vibe of doing what I'm about to do because I'm about to like change like people. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to be like,
you're a different person on stage.
Yeah, I'm a different person on stage, 100%. And like, man, on Friday, like when that shit wasn't going right, I was not fucking with nobody's shit, bro. I wasn't fucking with nobody's shit. I was just standing there like, dude, this is retarded. This is a fucking waste of my time, bro. How the fuck can we not figure this shit out? I was fucking going ballistic, bro. Straight up, just thinking about it makes me fucking mad.
I'll tell you what, man.
You need to start backing it up on these.
Yeah.
On this and just throw it every time, you know.
I found just personally that the tighter I'm wound up about something going wrong, or if something did go wrong, like we start the gig and something's not working, or somebody fucked up accounting or whatever. If I get wound up about that, it just like bleeds into everybody else. We all feed off each other.
Of course it does.
And it's a fucking terrible time.
Of course it does, yeah.
The lighter I keep it, the easier, the happier. If literally like when we go on, instead of like trying to pump you, hey, here we go, this is a big one or whatever the fuck, I'm just like, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's play like we're in my basement and just fucking have fun.
Yeah.
And the lighter and looser we keep it, I feel like we perform way better. Crowd feeds off of it. If you don't look nervous, like, man, it's crazy how much that does to making you not look professional.
Yeah.
If you look like you're at all worried about being up there,
it's like, it's over with. It's over with. That's why, like, oh man, I'll never forget that, like, that first like warehouse show. I was just like, no, this is a wrap before it even started, you know? it was just I don't know. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before, but I just felt like so much pressure. I was also fucked up. I've told the story a million times, but like, I just felt so much pressure going up there, and there were so many people there that I was just like, holy fuck. But now I've done bigger shows. Like when we did that sold out show in Belleville, there was like 250 people there. I was like, bro, I was in the back. I was in the back, and like Cody's videotaping me, and like I just looked at Cody and I was like, this is what we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I was like, just like, yo, like this is what we're doing right now. And like you just go out there and like if you know you're gonna obliterate it, like you're gonna fucking obliterate it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like getting in those shoes all the time is hard, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. It's actually hard. You know, performing is fucking not easy, bro. If you guys are hating on people for like, you know, like trying shit and like maybe not being the best at it off the start, bro, it's so like daunting to even try to go get up on stage and sing in front of people. Like, what a vulnerable thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I don't like it. So like, no, I never have. I always I always managed people and like would book shows, and I like hosting shows. You know what I mean? But I never liked. Like, I like performing my songs, but, like, I would like to perform it for, like, you know, when we do the house shows, that's a vibe. Because it was, like, it's it's all our people, you know what I mean? I don't really care to be like the center of attention otherwise, you know what I mean? Like that's how I kind of feel, and I don't really like being like that, you know what I mean? But like when I'm performing, I like performing my songs, and I want like you to hear it, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna, like, we're making music and shit all the time. You're not gonna hear all my songs and shit. You don't know half of them, you know. So I would love for like the homies to hear it and stuff. But yeah, I know like when I go up on stage at first, like the first song, I'm nervous. You feel me? Like, but then once I like do the second, like I'm on the second song, like I'm happy to be up there. Like I do like performing my songs, but I don't like being on stage in front of a bunch of people. You feel me?
So how do you stay calm though in those situations where you're like, okay, if I stay calm, this is gonna go better? How do you actually go about staying calm though? Because saying I'm gonna stay calm is like a way different thing than actually staying calm. You know what I'm saying? I can tell myself, a million, but it might not actually happen. Do you have actual strategies you do? Do you take a second to yourself, or is it an actual mental switch? Don't worry, we'll figure this out.
I think that's.
I have like riddling anxiety in most of my like regular life, like so.
Really?
There's like I just try to remind myself that like this is the thing that I do that's fun actually.
Yeah.
And like so
that's actually true. Yeah.
So like
this is supposed to be enjoyable. Yeah.
And I try to do that with everything, man, because like when you stress yourself out, like I'm planning a wedding right now and shit.
Oh.
Like even just that reaction, like the oh fuck, but like when you look back at the rest of your life, like I'm gonna lose family members. I'm like people get cancer. Like terrible shit's gonna happen in your life, and something you're gonna look back at that's supposed to be this fucking awesome experience that you love is getting like what we're doing right now, getting to play shows. When you're fucking 70, you're gonna remember.
It's all you're gonna think about,
right?
Literally, all you're gonna think about.
So why ruin
in
that
the moment? Yeah, you're
like,
ruining. You're ruining it for yourself right there.
So like, if you're not gonna actually be in the moment and enjoy that thing that you're doing, like you're literally in it right now. You're in it. This is the time in your life that you're gonna fucking look back on and be like, man, that was awesome that I got to do those things. Fucking, you better enjoy it. Yeah. Because if you were stressed through the whole thing, what the fuck is that? Like you gave yourself the shits because you fucking got to play your music for people. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
I feel you.
I try to have try to have perspective, and that usually, and that like physically, what do? I play as many fucking gigs as humanly possible, and never say no to a gig.
No.
Because the more you play, the more you're like, fuck, I got this. I've done this a million times.
Yeah.
When I first started, when I started playing original music, it was a fucking cardinal sin to play covers. You don't play covers. That's selling out. Now I realize that was just dumbest shit ever. That's how you make money, actually, to fund the originals. But I digress. I learned that way too late.
Yeah.
Not only that, though, all of a sudden now playing covers, I'm on stage 2-3 times a week. Yeah. So instead of that one time you finally get an opportunity to play originals, you're not shaking in your fucking boots going, oh, what if my voice gives out? And what if my guitar doesn't matter? I've done it 1,000 times.
You already,
You feel good.
So you guys I know you do. You also have a cover band on the side too.
Yeah, I play in multiple cover bands, but the real Kevin guys also play covers at Merchant Ale House and shit like that. So yeah, it's a good.
So you would say that it would be a smart thing for a band to do if they have an original band to also be like, hey guys, we can play music, so let's fucking do cover shows when we don't have headlining shows and make fucking money and just bank just bank fucking cash.
Yeah, that's literally
smart
funding.
As fuck.
We're putting out a vinyl with just money that we made from playing covers.
It's crazy, it's super sick.
Yeah, it literally.
And the vinyl the cover game pays well, right? I know we were privately talking about that. We don't have to disclose nothing, but
it can. It depends on what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. Like bars don't. Bars pay pretty well. Yeah. Private parties pay really well. Yeah. It's all like people's weddings. Fuck, man. People are. Yeah. By the way, if you have what you have right here, that's DJ gear.
Yeah, facts.
You bought a fucking PA and you were gonna say, hey, I'm a DJ for weddings. Those guys charge like $3,000, $2,000.
I
Yeah.
have a DJ board too.
We should start doing like sincerely wedding hostings. Like, yo, Caleb and Thraxx pull up and just turn that bitch up. You know what I mean?
By the way, you don't even have to fucking say anything.
No,
and we don't be a guy that spins the playlist they gave you, and
legit.
You're still charging $2,000.
Legit.
Not even turntables
yeah, no.
Like...
Facts. We just keep this bitch on the laptop, and we're just like, out here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're really doing something. It's just a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
You know what? That's so smart. I actually, I might start hosting wedding. You just hit me up if you guys need a wedding hosted. Like,
most definitely.
Easy.
Pop out.
But getting back to so like your origin a little bit. What you know, when you were growing up, what were you listening to? What started to get you into like, okay, I want to join that screamo band? Like, what made you make that jump to be like, okay, I'm gonna start making music. I'm gonna start joining a band. I'm gonna start fucking singing. Like, what was that for you? Because it's different for everybody.
I've always loved. I mean, I've always loved music. But that's like a part of the human condition, I think. My mom is a fantastic pianist that has terrible stage fright and won't play for anybody.
Okay.
But she taught me how to play piano when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, and just a little bit. I know my chords and shit. I can jam. But when I was 12, I got diagnosed with heart disease. And I used to play travel hockey and shit.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. We didn't figure that out in the first interview. So it's good we ran this shit back. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM, which is like a thick septum wall, and like essentially, you die. Like it's like if you overexert yourself, like a bunch of like hockey players, like this famous Russian figure skater, like you drop dead on the ice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cardio related?
Yeah, it's just like you.
So you basically had to give up hockey.
I had to give up everything.
And you loved hockey.
That's all I did.
Loved hockey.
Every fucking day, all I did was play hockey. And the day I got diagnosed, my uncle came and picked me up and took me to a music store, bought me my first guitar.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was like, "Here you go.
See,
Here's another way to try to get ladies to like you because you're fugly."
See, no.
No, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's. I mean, fuck. It's kind of. It sparked something in me where I was just like.
So the day you found out you couldn't play hockey anymore, your uncle came, picked you up, and bought you your first guitar.
Correct.
Why did he play instruments?
Yeah. Yeah, my uncle plays guitar.
Were you like gutted? Were you like a kid crying?
Oh
like,
fuck
fucked
yeah!
Up?
I was.
Like,
I honestly didn't even really know how much of like how hard it was going to shake me. Yeah, like. It was devastating. That's all I wanted to do. I played travel hockey. All I wanted to do, I fucking even in the summertime was shooting like 500 pucks a day and shit, trying to get better all the time because that's what I don't know. That's why I like.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. And then I had something else that I could pour all that energy into. That you know what I mean? The one thing I missed out on, you didn't have camaraderie anymore, right? You didn't have like your buddies you were doing it with.
Except for the band now.
Start a band, right? Yeah.
So do you still remember? Like, cause I feel like that moment is so like crazy. Like that's such a like fucking pinnacle life moment. Like, do you remember being a kid, him buying the guitar for you, and you being like, "Oh yeah, this is it now."
Fuck yeah.
That's fucked up. See, that's crazy.
That's
like, so crazy. That's
I had
like crazy.
crippling stage fright though. Like I would say, I was like my mom, like not playing for anybody. I remember I didn't sleep the whole week leading up to. It was my first guitar recital. I was playing in a public library with my guitar teacher for other parents. And I didn't sleep the whole week leading up to it. One song. Not singing, nothing. I was so fucking terrified.
For the one song.
Same with public speaking. Like, I'd have to do speeches in school.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, would make me throw up and shit. Like, I could not. Yeah. I had the worst stage fright ever. And I don't know how I got to this point. But, yeah, man. It was a lot of, like.
What a crazy story, though. Eh? Like, that's like, how is God not real, right? Like, this guy's uncle just picks him up and is like, yo, come on, and buys you a guitar.
He's my godfather, too.
Wow.
Just saying.
Crazy. That's
I have like kind of a similar. It's not. I didn't have a heart disease, but I got a brain injury when I was 12.
Jesus.
And I've skated my whole life. I skateboarded.
Yeah.
Like that's like I woke up. I went to sleep at 3 a.m. every night since I was a little baby, and woke up at 6. Watched TV for 30 minutes and then was back out, and I was gonna be a pro skater.
Yeah.
When I got a brain injury when I was like 12, bro, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like I've always done art and everything, but I'm like, okay, like what am I gonna do now? Like I'm good at music, like I'm good at art, like I don't know. Like it's like I was gonna be a skateboarder.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. But then that's when I really got into music. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna go all the way with music and art then.
Yeah. It's like. I feel like things like that happen where you're going to be doing something you're passionate about. If you're the kind of person that is like driven enough to put all of yourself into something,
you'll figure something else out.
Yeah.
That's facts.
You will find a passion like that.
It's like, as much as I like to say like, oh man, if I had to stop making music tomorrow, I'd fucking kill myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I obviously wouldn't. You know, I'd be like, okay, well, I like rock climbing, so fuck it. I guess I'll
Yeah.
just go all in and try and be the fucking best free solo rock. I swear to God, that's probably what I do. That's literally probably what I do. I could actually see myself doing that, where it's just like, because I'm the type of person who just like, I won't give up. I will not give up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I won't give up. Like if God forbid something happened to me, like I couldn't make music anymore, like I'd be the best at something.
Yeah.
Isn't that a terrible affliction to have, by the way?
Oh yeah.
I can't do anything for fun.
No.
Like,
yeah. That's what I mean.
everything I do, I'm like, maybe I could do this like professionally. Maybe I could be the best at this.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't just
But I
fucking
think there
enjoy
needs to-
something.
But I think there needs to be more people like that, and I think society now has a weird way of trying to dumb everything down. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, like I've seen all these like TikToks recently, and it's like, I don't know if you've seen them. It's like normalize the norm. Like this guy who has a 9-to-5 job and does not do a motherfucking thing besides that.
That's not normal.
Nothing. He does nothing besides that. He's like, my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. He gets home, put the dishes away, take the dog out, have a coffee, sit down, watch Netflix. What the fuck is that? And like, why is that like the definition of like, oh, it's okay to be normal? It's like, what? It's okay to just do fuck all? Like, I really don't agree with that. Like, why would you want young people to just be like, I'm just gonna get a 9 to 5 and find a girl and just that's it?
Well, I've seen it with like
Why?
my siblings and stuff, and like I'm just like, I don't know. I think about it kind of often. It's like it's okay to not like have anything, but like that's like some people just want to live, not do anything. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to do anything, but I don't know. Like
I think if you're not killing people, you're like, good for you. Like,
Yeah, I guess it's
that guy's not a murderer.
You're not doing nothing bad. Yeah.
I will say. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
I think like people nowadays really like the youth especially lack motivation, and I think if parents like I just seen it, I see it all the time. It's just like I'm always doing something and like I go and see my friends here and there, like everywhere. I've moved to lots of places. I have lots of friends everywhere, and when I go see them, you know, like they just work 9 to 5, and their parents just work 9 to 5, and they get home and they have the coffee and walk the dog and watch some Netflix and they're asleep. And they're like they want to do something, but they don't. Like they like art, they like this, they like that, but they're like, oh, I just want to chill though. And I'm like, and it's like I get it if you're just working all the time, but it's like everyone's then like I don't know. I've seen like a friends, like one of my friends, like the family, they just don't do. That's what they do. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you guys are so creative though. Like you could just be creative, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. People
get enjoyment out of different shit. I will say, not to get like fucking heady and like introspective about all this shit, but like I think the fact that like everybody is exposed to other people doing shit constantly, and you never actually see like people's downtime, and that not every minute of your life can be this fucking awesome thing you're experiencing. It fucks with you, because throughout forever in history, like as long as you had like a roof over your head and food in your mouth and clothes on your back, like those were the things you would strive for. Is normalcy, is to just experience a life that is comfortable. And we've gone past that now. And because we like hold these people up and it's like on pedestals that do anything extraordinary or live any kind of life that is like above the means you currently have, you're never comfortable, and you're never truly. And that's part of consumerism. You're not supposed to be happy. You're supposed to fucking pay for shit and buy shit, stimulate the economy, and it's this fucking weird thing going on. So like, I feel like I agree with you, because I am like that as well, and I constantly am like looking for the next thing I can do to try to make myself better at my passion. But at the same time, is there like for you to stand out, don't there have to be people that just fucking go to work?
For sure.
I think that a part of me that feels
people are just never.
I think that a part of me that feels I've said this before too, like a part of me that feels that way so extremely about that is because like in a way like I'm jealous of people who can actually just like relax though.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like a part of why it comes out like, oh, I don't understand why people do nothing all the time, blah blah blah, is because like I like struggle so hard to actually enjoy anything normal and like experience any sort of just like contentment, that I see people who are content, and I'm like, fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. Like, I have a lot of interest in things, and like, I'm always, I don't know, like, life's super fun. You know what I mean? But like, when we were talking about it, it's like some people, like, I just see some people, they just do that, and they're like depressed, and it's like, just do things you like. You know what I mean? You don't just have to watch TV and do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, do nothing when you get home, or.
See,
like, there's things that you're good at and things that you love, like you should do them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, some people are not meant, some people are not meant to be stars, and some people are. And
No
like,
shit.
So,
You know that thing that drives you to go and write music and perform it on stage, and have the look at me factor, which is not a bad thing, by the way, even though it sounds like one.
You need that to be
for you to have that. If everybody was like that, there's not enough room on stage.
No.
There's not enough fucking set lists. There's set times for everybody to fucking be like that.
Yeah,
so
like you need people who can just be like, hey man, I just like want to go to your show.
And you want to do this, right?
Yeah.
So you better fucking hope to God you're special.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Yeah, we rely on a lot of these regular Joes to just, you know.
And that's not even a regular joke, but
yeah.
just like the idea that like everybody has to. I think everybody should try to be fulfilled in their lives, but what it takes to do that is fucking totally
Up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me actually fix my statement before because it sounded so
By the way,
fucked up.
you're allowed to think that too. I'm not fucking.
But what I truly think is like, yeah, if you're truly content in your life, that's good because I'm not.
Yeah.
That's like.
Yep.
That's where.
But isn't that fucking awesome?
I think that's awesome because to me, life, and my buddy Zach, like one of my best friends, said this about like being a high value man, and I think that this is a true statement. And I would like to think that I am somewhat of a high value man, which is that a high value man has to constantly feel like he's climbing a mountain. And if he ever at some point feels like he gets to the top of that mountain, he'll drag his ass back to the bottom, fuck everything up just to fucking rebuild it all over again. Yeah. And like, I think that, you know, there's a healthy balance between that and normalcy that I'm very far from finding. And
but that's like the fucking life's like condition is
exactly.
Like,
and that is like the human condition, you know what I'm saying, is like figuring all that out. And part of that's part of my superpower is the like never being content thing, because that's really what gets people to that level where people are like, what the fuck, because you just never fucking chilled out.
Yeah, it's kind of like my superpower too. Like I mean, like I'll be like I'm happy when I do my song, I make my art, right? But it's like, yeah, but I want to make more like different things like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's always another step to it. You know what I mean? Like, but I think like my life is, I'm never gonna be bored. You know what I mean? Like I know as long as I'm on this planet, I'm never gonna be bored. Like I always have something to do. But like
yeah, man. I mean, all of like art is created out of like a longing or a yearning for something, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, all of my shit, I'm like constantly writing music because there are certain songs or certain like pieces of a song or little things that I hear that make me feel this like fucking weird and fantastic feeling that can't be described on any sort of like, oh, that sounds good, because it's not just that it sounds good. So I'm constantly, when I'm writing music, I'm trying to get as close as I can to trying to make myself feel that way.
It gives me chills, man. Fuck.
But when you get there, by the time if I write anything that makes me feel like that at all, it's so fucking fleeting. And in a moment's time, I'm like, I fucking hate everything I write. Like, but it doesn't last long to go like, I gotta write something else again, because I need to chase. I'm chasing that constantly, trying to chase the perfect song.
Let me ask you this: what songs do you have out right now? What song do you have out right now? Like, I can think of one off the top of my head for me that stands out for you that you think of that makes you feel like that right now.
Of songs that are on
that
Spotify
you have right now.
Not a single one of them.
Wow.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. Remember I told you I spent like 20 hours listening to them? I hate all of those songs.
Wow, that's crazy.
By the way, I'm saying that in jest. I love everything. I love getting to play my music for people. I love writing music, and I put those songs out because I like them.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've played them into the ground though. Like I love Nirvana. I've also listened to them to death.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
Yeah, I feel that, especially on Nirvana.
yeah, like there's a bunch of that. Shout out, by the way, Real Kevin playing an all Nirvana
I was just
set
gonna
at
say,
Warehouse.
fuck, when is that again?
Sunday.
Next week.
No,
That's this week.
Yeah, Sunday.
This Sunday,
Easter
so
Sunday.
fuck.
What are you doing?
Playing at Warehouse. It's a
Yeah,
all Nirvana set.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's bands playing bands. So there's one band playing
Strokes.
The Strokes, which I've never heard before. And then
You don't know the Strokes?
Don't know the Strokes and don't know the band. And then there's your band playing Nirvana.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I actually
We did one here.
would love to come to that show.
Is that Saturday?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
man.
So we have
Bet.
Easter Sunday too. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
cool
tough one.
though.
But if you guys, yeah,
we're on at 9.
by the time this comes out, oh, you're on at 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's super feasible.
It's on Sunday morning. It's blessed.
Yeah. And Monday, most people are off, so that helps.
True.
Can you remember when you listen back at least to those songs that you're tired of hearing now? Can you still remember like how like you felt when you were making them? Can
Of course,
you?
yeah,
Okay.
man, yeah.
Okay, good.
Like
good.
I could tell you, like there are parts there where like the notes line up in a way that fucking, you know,
triggers your
scratches
brain on
an
how
itch
it
in my
was when you
brain.
were jumping
Yeah.
around, fucking, vibing out to it.
Yeah,
Good,
where I was
okay,
like,
because I was gonna say like if you can't remember that, that would really suck for real.
there's a lot of shit. So when I was explaining that, like a lot of the time I'll write something while I'm recording it because it's not just because I have the fucking idea doesn't mean it's anywhere near being written.
Yeah.
So like with some of that stuff, I'll have played. I'm like, oh, I got to come up with a guitar hook that starts this song.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? It's over these 2 chords with this drum beat. I already have all that shit going, but I need something to happen before I start singing.
Yeah.
I'll fucking play that on a loop in Logic Pro.
Yep.
Have my guitar plugged in, headphones in, and fucking play 1,000 different things over it until there's something that I'm like, oh, that's it. And
Yeah.
you just like, and
It
I
just
groove
hits.
on that, and I'm almost like bummed when I record it because I'm like, well, I can't
The
play it now.
the experimentation's over.
Yeah, like I don't get to do that part
Yeah.
again. Like it's done now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super interesting, and like, I want to say like one thing too, like about your performing style, like your performing style, you really do look like you're having fun up there. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
nice to hear.
when you get into it and you start like moving around with the feet and shit like that, like I love it. I feel like people can almost feel, you feeling good about those songs, and like it really does come off in like in a really proper way. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that. It's weird because like I don't know what I like as much as I know what I don't like.
Yeah.
And what I fucking hate.
I feel like I'm the same way.
I hate shit that comes across as not genuine.
Yeah.
When I feel like somebody's
Me
like
too.
trying too hard to look like they're having fun or to look
Yeah.
like they're a certain way, it's see-through. Like and it's just kind of like, it's like, oh man, like, and it's a bummer because I would rather like just stand there and sing your song.
Yeah.
You don't gotta fucking. But at the same time, if you try to put on a show, it's all conflicting ideas.
But some nights, I agree with that too, and it's better to just be a more like, okay, I'm not as into this tonight version, as opposed to like I'm forcing this to like try to like make you like this song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because some shows, like when you do this shit, if you're truly a professional, like you're gonna be sick for some shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Your chick fucking screamed at you before some shows. Told you to go fuck yourself. Okay, you break your fucking window before a show. Like they literally did that on the way to our house show. The way to our house show to make like no money. This guy broke his fucking window. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sucks.
and it's like, but you still have to be professional. You still have to do your job. But it's not like you don't have to force it though. You don't have to force it. And when something's coming organically. Like when I did that show, when we just did that show in Hamilton. I wasn't feeling that shit at all at the beginning, and you can tell. I watched the fucking footage back. You can tell at the beginning I'm not feeling that shit at all. I'm super tight. You can tell because I didn't know how the shit was gonna sound, and I'm like trying to sound check it and tell them the keys are off and shit while we're fucking playing it. And then once we got it tight, like in Manic Episode, you can hear when I start fucking snapping out.
Bro, and
You know?
like halfway through the set, like then you're like in the groove and like you're feeling the vibe and you're hyped up, and that's like a lot, like sometimes with me, like sometimes on the stage, like I'm on the stage and like performing my songs, I'll be like, you know what I mean, like not really feeling the vibe, but once I'm up there, I'm hyped. Once I get into the second song, like I'm hyped to be performing. You feel me?
Yeah, it's just like some nights you're gonna have better nights than other nights. You know what I'm saying? But like, you
Try
have
to prescribe to the Wayne Gretzky quote
Okay.
is no matter what day you're playing that game, that's just the fucking 70th game of the schedule for you. Somebody's seeing you for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try, like, again, I agree with you. There are nights where I'm like, I'm not feeling this. Something's off. We don't sound good. This doesn't feel good. But, like, there's something where it's like, I got to try to power through and make this as good as humanly possible. But, again, man, it's like, it's such a fucking double-edged sword. You can't look fake up there. You can't fake it.
You know where it comes
Try
from?
to use it.
It's like in life, what I've realized as I've gotten older, I'm 22 years old. I've like dealt with like my fair share of adversity. I still deal with it. And I made a TikTok about this actually 2 days ago. And it's actually like a subject that I feel like emotional about because this is true. Okay. No one actually really cares about how you feel. You know what I'm saying? You have your friends and you have your family and stuff who genuinely care about how you feel. Let's look at this from like a business standpoint or from a performer standpoint or from a barber or anybody. Yeah. Somebody expects something of you. Okay? That's what people need to get through their heads if they really want to do something for real. Yeah. Okay? Somebody expects something from you. Let's look at this about me and my full-time job being a barber, okay? I have had like sort of a tumultuous fucking 6 months. Okay. I've worked like every day during those 6 months. It's my job to drag as little of my bullshit into other people's days as possible because they're coming to me with expectations that I'm going to, at the bare minimum, give them a good haircut and additionally like be like courteous and happy and shit like that. That's the real game changer in life. When I feel like that really is when you realize that people don't give a fuck, bro, at all. They expect something from you, and you have to deliver that fucking result and suck it up and fucking get that shit done. That's the game changer. You know what I'm saying? That's when you really start to fucking gain momentum and start to see shit grow because you didn't just fucking say, oh man, I just didn't feel like it today. Like my fucking this happened. Like I just can't come to work today. Like it doesn't matter, bro. Yeah. Like it literally doesn't matter, bro. Yeah. You think when Machine Gun Kelly goes out on tour and he's got 70 dates and Megan Fox is telling him to go fuck himself and burning all his clothes at home, that he just gets to what, like not put on a fucking show? Yeah. No, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
I mean, at that point, you could just be like, nah. And you know what I mean? Like, then people will care because, like, if you cancel the show, you know what I mean? But, like, you know, I've also seen it a lot of times. Like, artists can have, like, a day like that and they're big artists and, like, they just don't have the show because that day was fucked up. Like, not even, and I mean, it would probably have to be, like, for me in a very big, like, extent. It could be, like, someone died. I might not be. But if someone died, it probably would be at the show for them. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just, like, but, yeah. I don't know.
I think when you're building something, consistency is crucial.
For sure.
But, like, you guys know who Oasis is, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many fucking gigs those guys no-showed? Like, that fucking, the singer has straight up, was on a drunken binge, was just like, I'm not fucking playing tonight, and his brother had to sing all the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with Guns N' Roses, those guys used to no-show. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, like, there's, and like you said, like,
and that's where there's levels to this shit, though. Because there's people who fucking still showed up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
And there's people who got fucked over by that guy and would still show up the next night and pay for another ticket to just have a chance to maybe see him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, it's so like, this is what I've been trying to explain to some people is like, man, you don't understand like how valuable the people are who like genuinely fuck with your shit is. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like 10 people or like 1 million people. Like, you don't understand, like, they could be anywhere doing anything and they want to engage with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you can't see value in that or the importance of maintaining that type of relationship or that type of, like, vibe going on, then, like, yo, like, you have to, like, take a whole step back and, like, look at yourself in the mirror because, like, bro, like, people's time is, like, they don't get it back, you know? All the people that came to, like, our house show and shit, like, they're never going to get that time back, you know? Like, that was St. Patrick's Day weekend. Yeah. You know, we still had like, 25, 20 people come to my fucking basement. I didn't know who half those fucking people were. And that St. Patrick's Day, they could be anywhere. They could do anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know.
I'm glad you think that way because, like, I know, like, especially with you, bro, there's a lot of people. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people that, especially with you, bro, that, like, appreciate your music. So for you to have the mindset like that, it's good, bro. Because, like, there's a lot of people out there that need, like, will show up for you, bro, and tap on that Spotify and really do love your music just for the, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's cool, bro.
I don't know. It's just like being an artist like is just such a fucking delicate game, you know? Like it really is. It really is.
It's something, man.
It's
I
something,
fucking,
bro. It's
I'll tell you what. It's like it's it's an awesome thing that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Yeah.
But there's also something like inherently fucking embarrassing about it.
Yeah.
Mostly that I don't. So I love performing.
Okay.
I do want to be the center of attention. I like being on stage.
Okay.
I want to do all that stuff. That's fucking so lame. I hate that about myself. Why? I mean, I have youngest child syndrome where like I fucking want. I'm very much like I want to fucking get to do something where I put myself out there. And there's something such like just
you feel gross about it.
a little. There's
Yeah.
something so inherently egotistical about being like, oh, you like music? You'll love what I wrote.
100%.
Check this shit out.
100%.
It feels fucking awful. I'm in a band. I do that. Oh, you like music? I do that. Check this out. And it's like, oh god. No? Do you get that feeling ever? Or you? Sorry, do you get that feeling ever?
Like I don't like being the center of attention. I really try not to be, but I like when you have that a little bit of that ego. It's like it goes a long ways with like the music and stuff. And like hey, like I would.
You have
love
to have one
I would-
to
like,
have
I
written
need- I
anything.
would
You
love
have an
to just
ego.
Push Caleb. Caleb, you want to be right up on stage, bro. I don't know if you do, maybe, but like. I think you do. You want to be a little bit of center attention.
Yeah.
I don't, but I would love to like. But I'll push you. Like you know what I mean. I'll back your music, play your music, send out the concerts to everyone, so everyone pops out. Cause like I know that's what you want. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll support that. And like that's like, it's not too egotistical to really want that. Like you make music
No.
and like you want to share it with everyone.
It's just the very idea of doing it comes from like your ego, like that you're like I can fucking do that. Like you watch somebody sing before and you're like I can fucking do that. And so you're putting your shit out there. By the way, it's awesome and very commendable, and it's like a nerve-wracking thing. You're exposing yourself to people creatively.
Yeah.
And all of that shit is noble, and I fucking love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. There's just like a little piece of me that makes it hard to be a self-promoter, because it's like, remember how you just said those people could have been anywhere that night?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Somebody fucking dragged them to your basement.
Mm-hmm.
That it was a favor. Somebody was like, I need you to come and see me. And that person showed up for them. And that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You only get so many of those, man.
I know.
Until the favor runs out and now you need real fucking fans.
Yeah.
And if they're not there,
Yeah.
then what? You know what I mean? Like that, like
I think the part that I think
I'm
that-
sorry, I don't mean to be a downer. I'm just saying, like it's fucking. I love making music, man. But like getting people to care about it past the point of like you're a good person and you're trying really hard to do something, and you've asked them, hey, I would love your support. How the fuck do you say no to that? So they come out.
That's how you build the fans too.
100%.
I mean like the people you ask that may not even listen to your songs, but like they're your friends, you know what I mean? Or like you're just like, come out for me. Like I know you don't like the type of music, but like, you know, just be there for me. Like,
That's a real friend, by the way.
A lot of people that like the real ones that do pull up, I've seen like they eventually become your biggest fans.
Yeah.
Like, but they don't even know it. Like it's just like they're just supporting you. You know what I mean?
When you find
But you just gotta-
it's like a friend of a friend of a friend starts showing up and they're there every time all of a sudden, how fucking good does that feel?
feels good.
Yeah.
I think the thing that trips me out the most is like how fake and glass everything is.
Yeah.
For example, we were opening for Roni in Belleville, and
That's short for pepperoni, right?
yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
No, Roni.
Roan dog. It's Roan dog. And like just like
Just jokes, I'll love. Go on.
the way that like I could have just been an actual complete crackhead and like gone on stage, and if I like just remotely kept it together that night, like people would freak out. You know what I'm saying? That's the part about me that feels fake, where it's like, okay, how many people okay, like how many people are actually liking my music and how many people are just like freaking out because I'm on stage supporting this actual rapper? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
They're there to be played to and they're there for the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
It's
giving
just a
them
crazy-
anything, and they're like, good, yeah, more.
It's a crazy concept. It's a crazy concept how like you give somebody a mic and you put them elevated like 4 feet above the rest of people,
Yeah.
and people look at that person like they matter.
Yeah.
That's the part that trips me out.
Yeah.
That's the part that trips me out, where it's like, you don't know me, you don't know anything I've done, I'm just elevated 4 feet above you and I have a wireless mic, and you just assume that I deserve your respect.
Doesn't that take a little bit of wind out of your sails to think about it that way?
Of course.
Because I'll tell you, man,
Absolutely it does. Yeah,
we're up
for
playing
sure.
covers, and we're fucking killing, and people are dancing to this
Yeah.
sick tune.
Yeah.
And then we finish, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And they're like, yeah, now play some Creed. And it's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Ew. I just thought it was cool what we were doing and that you liked this song I was playing that's a good song. And then it ended and you told me to play Creed and now
Yeah.
I want to fucking take a shower.
Yeah.
Because I don't respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's like a weird, we play at this place. It's a ski lodge up in Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
When you play there, everybody's shittered. Everyone's on vacation. You could play your fucking dick.
Yeah.
And it would
Twinkle,
get
twinkle,
people,
little star.
and people would lose their shit. They're receptive to anything you're playing.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun, but it's also a bummer.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like it wasn't even like you said, it wasn't that it was you or what you were playing. They were just happy to be there and see a band.
Super dope. That's like
It's fun.
But I know what you were saying because you were like you could have said anything to that crowd, like the most mod shit, and they would have went wild.
That's literally what this kid Zero did. Like shout out Zero. He's actually coming on the podcast next week. He's fucking out of his mind. This kid is fucking out of his mind. Like, he's a really cool guy, but he's fucking crazy. He literally was like in the back in the green room, and he's like, "Yo, the crowd's pretty receptive tonight." He's like, I'm gonna try something. He's like, I bet you they'll say whatever I tell them to say. So he goes out on stage and he goes, when I say you're gay, say I'm gay. He said you're gay, and then everybody in the crowd said I'm gay.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like one of those crazy ass things for real. Speaking about the shows and speaking about, yeah, I know that was so crazy. I can't wait to talk to him about that because like he'll find that
Now,
fucking
you want to
hilarious.
really turn some heads. You got to do. Do you guys know who Gigi Allen is?
Yes.
Yeah.
You take a shit on stage.
Oh fuck, that's crazy.
Ozzy
Yeah.
eating a bat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This guy pooping and then and getting naked and fighting people at his gigs.
It's so sick.
Gnarly,
Dude,
man.
Gigi Allen was like a threat. Like if you went there, it was actually like dangerous to be at his show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is like Ozzy Osbourne was on stage doing that shit. This guy was in like a nightclub the size of your basement playing for like 30 people and would fucking take a shit. Do shoot up heroin on stage.
Yeah.
He was like slapping people with his dick on stage.
Yeah.
Like just like oh.
That's kind of like.
And he's like a hero to some people, man, because he was
100%.
a real punk rocker.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about that performance type shit. To me, you sound like a fucking idiot, but it was something.
I mean, it got people's attention, but I think that's like.
I couldn't tell you
I
a
think
single
that's
Gigi
really,
Allen
like,
song.
I don't think that's a vibe, to be honest. It
No!
sounds pretty gnarly, but it's like not. It's too gnarly.
No
It's
shit.
too gnarly. I don't want to smell your shit, dog.
Right?
And you don't shoot up in me, and don't shoot up in front of me, and don't pull your dick out. Like those
Right?
are all checklists that all things I'm like,
So
walk the fuck
speaking of Zero, that kid who we've been touring with,
Yeah.
okay. I totally like. I'm gonna say this right now. Disclaimer before I say this. Zero, I do fuck with you, very heavily, and I understand why you do this, but I have to bring it up because it's like podcast worthy material, and we'll bring it up during your podcast. So speaking of the shitting on stage thing, he doesn't do that, but he does do this. Okay, walks out on stage. Hold this for a second.
Oh, performance, right?
Yeah, he's a good looking like white kid, like, you know what I'm saying? So like he gets the crowd going, he takes off his shirt, everybody starts going crazy, right? Chicks love this guy, you know what I'm saying? So the first chick he sees, like, you know, with her phone out, like taking a video, takes the phone, Zero legend, takes the phone on video and does one of these, bro. Right in the pants. Right like that. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you what. Everybody goes ballistic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ballistic. You know what I'm saying? And that's like part of his thing.
It's the right
Same
move.
with the G.G. Allen thing. It's part of his thing.
Yeah.
It was just part, and you know what I'm saying?
Shorties are eating that up.
Because this is the thing. This is the thing that's brilliant. This is the thing that's brilliant. Is like, for one, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the big
For two, he actually found an original thing that nobody has done before. I've never seen an artist do that ever on the internet or anything. Do that. Whatever your opinion is about it, is it okay? Is it acceptable? Doesn't matter, because it is an original thing that he found that he can do to captivate every single audience that he goes to for the rest of his fucking life now.
Well, it's like you're
It's brilliant.
You're creating like a divisive moment where like some people are liking it, some people don't, some people don't know what to think about it. Which
It's just original, and
if people are talking about it.
And how hard is it now? Like we spoke about this last time about originality, and like, is originality even a thing anymore? Because I feel like everything's been played out so much. To find something in your music, in your live performance, that you can have be truly original is to me like mind blowing. Because I'm like, boom, he just checked that. He's the first one to do it.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. I'm still waiting to find that thing. You get what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
Because it's something he's known for. It's like something he's known for. Just how like G.G. Allen would do that thing. He does this thing, right? It's something that these guys are known for.
Yeah,
It's
G.G.
something
Allen
that they're known
also
for.
G.G. Allen also died on a couch, and people were just taking pictures with him because they thought he was passed out.
Like, but it's just like you know what you get what I'm saying though, Jan. No, you get what
100%.
you know?
I hear what you're saying. I'm saying like that is a thing, and it is different than what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
Right? Does it move the needle enough? Is that like, and by the way, do you want to have a thing that is the reason the needle's moving?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, not that long ago, that fucking video came out of that chick pissing on that dude at a concert.
No.
I don't even remember who the band was. I just remember it was on Instagram constantly. We were swiping
like
through it.
blowing up.
Some girl fucking brought a guy on stage. The girl was the singer.
Yeah.
Brought a dude on stage. She was in a skirt. She fucking pisses on his face
Lucky.
while they're performing.
crazy. That's like,
Right?
That's
Which is
fucked up.
that was his reaction too. Was I feel so fucking lucky and honored to be a part of this.
I just caught that piss.
Yeah. Oh, you found it on there already?
No.
But anyway, yeah. Again, where you don't see people doing that. Does that mean no one's ever done it? Probably not. I'm sure someone's pissed on somebody. G.G. Allen took a shit on stage. Somebody pissed on somebody.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
But it's
Somebody
moving.
got pissed on at a fucking.
For sure.
You know.
But it's moving the needle. But I couldn't tell you who the artist was or what happened. All I know is that I saw them piss on somebody.
Yeah, you're right.
So where? And by the way,
like-
I'm not suggesting that's what your buddy's doing.
No.
at
I know
all.
that. I know.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying the idea of
No, it's fair,
of
and
finding
it's a fair
something
point.
that is your thing.
It's a fair point.
It's like what do you want that to be and what do you want it to say about you is like such a strategic move that's so fucking hard to find.
Yeah. And I think sometimes sometimes that sort of thing comes organically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure he never planned to do that. I'm sure he
No,
was just
exactly.
like probably fucked up on stage and was just like, I'm going to take a fucking dick video and, we'll see how it goes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and probably got a good reaction and was like, oh shit. And by the way, for the record, internet, nobody actually knows if he's fucking taking a video or not. I've never seen a fucking.
Also, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm
but,
saying? Like, no one knows. He could just be taking the flash and
It
just,
would.
you
It
know?
could also look like this.
Facts.
Because how the fuck do you see a dick from?
You feel what I'm saying? And he could be flipping the camera. Like, there could be a million things. We'll get to the bottom of it next week. Stay tuned. But
Oh, I'm excited.
yeah,
I'm excited.
The dick pic videos.
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh my god. But I don't know. I think that it takes a lot of work. To be an artist, to get the ball rolling, to start seeing momentum. I'm seeing you guys as a band having a lot of momentum, having a lot of that, be organic, getting a lot of bookings.
You're very kind.
How is that starting to feel? You guys are starting to play bigger shows. You guys are starting to get booked more. You guys got booked last year at Cicada. That's a fucking arguably Niagara's biggest music festival. You guys are basically a new band, like what do the next 5 years look like, bro? You're on the Sincerely podcast, What do the next 5 years look like? Because I know you're like me, and I know when you see momentum, you fucking double down on it. So what are we doing?
I'm currently knocking on every fucking door of other festivals right now, trying to
Boom.
get shit done.
Boom.
We have a vinyl coming out.
That's sick.
It will be out at the beginning of May. New song from that's going to be like teasing that comes out very shortly in like a week.
Do you? What's the song title?
The song is called Dynamite Hut.
Fire.
Stay tuned for Dynamite Hut by the Real Kevin Band.
Which came. We were crossing the border together, and our manager Eddie was telling us about a hut that's between Canada and the U.S. that houses a bunch of dynamite.
Hilarious.
And I was like, "That's a fucking sweet
Just in
band
case.
name," but we already have a band name, so.
I like the band name Real Kevin.
Yeah.
That can't change.
Yeah, it's
I think that
yeah, it's perfect.
it looks good on shirts.
Yeah,
$25.
super tough, black and orange.
Get at me, get at him.
Vibes.
Yeah, I believe that is Gothic something or other. The Halloween font.
Yeah,
I ripped that shit.
I like it.
Well, my entire logo is ripped off Canva.
Yeah.
I'll probably get sued too.
Yeah.
Eventually, for sure. Yeah.
I use that. I use the Friday the 13th one. I use Friday the 13th samples in a bunch of our tunes.
Yeah, it is what it is. But basically, so you guys are just gonna keep the ball rolling. Now, let me ask you something.
Oh, music videos too. Shit, all sorts of shit.
Everything.
Literally trying to do anything and everything we can right now.
Are you guys gonna take the single release rollout strategy that's very popular right now, which is shooting essentially high quality video footage of you and the band, or you solo singing the hook of the song with the lyrics on the screen?
No.
No, you're not going to take that approach.
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, my manager might be like, "No, you're fucking doing that."
Yeah.
And then
I think it'd be smart.
At this point, I'm listening to anything he says because I'm just trying to we were our own managers for a long time and did nothing. So I'm putting myself in his hands now.
Yeah.
But given my druthers, I have like set things that I like to do when I put music out. Like a lyric video is important, and I'm sure that's exactly what he's gonna fucking say to me.
Yeah.
But there are a few things that I don't enjoy doing. Just again, it's the genuine thing, not because I think other people doing it is not cool. I don't like to look down the barrel of a camera and fucking pretend I'm singing.
Yes.
It's really tough.
I know.
And I also generally don't like moments that don't feel candid. Like.
Yes.
It's one thing to bring around a camera while we're setting up and hanging out together and having fun and cut that all together.
Yes.
And it's actual footage of us performing and shit. All of that goes into it. That's awesome.
Yes.
And we shot one in my basement. We made a video for Sky Kiss where we're fucking hanging out in my basement playing the song. And we actually played it physically like 10 times while the guy shot.
Different angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. I'm happy to do that. I feel fucking so awkward and I'm not a fucking heartthrob. What am I looking down the barrel of the camera for?
Right.
And it also just feels just not me.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually I end up fucking taking like retro horror movies off archive.org
Yeah.
because they're copyright free.
Yeah.
I'm just chopping them all up and making a fucking music video.
And that
I'll
works
put some
too.
lyrics on there. It's more just an aesthetic than anything.
Yeah.
It's a visual for people to watch. Again, is that what I want to do with everything? No.
Yeah.
But it's fucking...
I was gonna mention that to you because like with like let's say you drop your album, like you only want to make like film a couple of those songs, like film a couple of music videos for those.
Yeah.
But like when you have the album drop and you have those couple music videos, you could have it like when you go to the album on YouTube, the single will pop up with that you have a video for will pop up. You can make it like just a single pop up, right?
Yeah.
And then with the video, and then like the other songs could just be your visualizer with lyrics, and honestly all it could be is like a video of you guys playing real quick and then it looping back and forth, and you just have like this overlay or something that
like
makes it look cool.
Visualizer thing. Yeah.
And like stuff like that, I eat it up. Like I love it when there's a little bit of a visualizer there. Like with the rest of the album, it makes it a little easier to like digest it. Yeah, like I'll
100%.
sit on YouTube and usually go to those because like I know the artists that will usually put out visualizers like that with their albums.
Yeah.
I'll go on to the YouTube, check it out, because then I can it's just cooler.
Put a face to a sound. Yeah, and by the way, I may have been a little harsh with the singing down the barrel of the camera. Again, I just fucking feel like such a goober.
That's what I was gonna say. I was actually gonna say to you, I would honestly that's what I would like to see more of. I would like to see more of you, the fucking boys, the one dude shirtless, and fucking John.
Yeah.
Yeah, John shirtless, working out. And just like really just like doing that like spammy shit. I think it works. I've told Pine the same thing. I've told everybody the same thing who doesn't do it, and it's like I think you have to. I don't think it's even an option nowadays. Yeah. I don't even think it's an option.
I think you're right. I don't know. Part of me doesn't know how to feel about it because you know how there are like things that are the way they are because nobody is willing to not do it like that.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on whether or not that's one of those things.
Right.
You're probably right.
Right.
You've been right. But like for a long time, no one was starting a band without a guitar in it either.
It's true.
Right.
And bro, and like, yo, believe me when I say like that side of promo is the worst.
I fucking hate it.
It's the worst. And like, because creatively as an artist, this goes back to like the thing of like, as an artist, you want to be creative. Mm-hmm. You want everything to have a story. You want to look at everything and be like, oh, it makes me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's what you are crushing the side of you're telling your story as you're releasing things. And that's not easy to do, man. And people resonate with that kind of thing. That's
to a degree, I think I am. And I think to a degree, I'm also doing the spammy thing. And I'm trying to make the spammy thing as creative and real feeling as possible, you know? But I feel like these bands like Judgment that are really fucking kicking off are following all the people who are really kicking off are following this formula that is fucking like patented working.
So my question to you though then is that person who's using that formula to success, where are they starting from and who do they have helping them do that?
Okay. Well, for example, that band Judgment, they work with a very high-end videographer. His name's Roberto Spade or something. I probably fucked his name up, but he's shooting it for them. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming, just guessing, guys, you know, not putting show no judgment, not putting words in anybody's mouth or whatever, how you guys do your shit, but I'm assuming they sit down, look at the song, and say, okay, for example, their song Solace and Stillness, the hook is if time stood still, something. It's about time. So they said, okay, well, what can we do with time? Clocks. Mm-hmm. Okay, boom. So what happened? There's a video of Ev, the lead singer, laying with his head on the side of the fucking ground. There's a clock right next to his face. It's very front forward. Mm-hmm. Okay, clock, his face, band playing in the background. If time stood still, just one moment, right? Boom, 1.1 million fucking views on Reels.
Did it?
Okay, yeah. And their next video that comes out, okay? The hanging mic videos you see that are popular, right? Where people are spitting into the mic and it's hanging and then they got the words. It's a hanging clock. Feel what I'm saying? Oh. So he's singing into the clock.
It's a motif.
See, they're still making it original.
Yeah.
But they're so if you could find a way to like, for example, that song you guys have where it's like the girls get off of diarrhea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does the hook of that song go?
It says "Ooh, Sky Kiss" over and over again.
Yeah.
Which I like to say "Spy Kids" sometimes for fun.
Spy Kids. but like for example, like you say something in a song about girls having diarrhea, right?
So that song's a little. It's a Bob's Burgers song. You know that show, Bob's Burgers?
I do, yeah.
So there's an episode where Tina has diarrhea.
Okay.
And Jimmy Jr. wants to sky kiss with her on the trampoline.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But she can't jump on a trampoline because she has diarrhea.
Right.
Right. So in that episode, somebody who works on the show came up with the hook of that song, and it plays just over the end credits.
Oh, interesting.
And it's literally like the only cover song we do.
Really? Interesting.
And so...
Because that's a banger.
Right? I was like, man, that hook is fantastic. Who is that? Can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I found a fake band that called themselves The Runs.
Yeah.
Good pun.
Hilarious.
That had recorded that song.
Yeah.
Cool.
To like a couple hundred plays or whatever it is. I don't fucking know. And I was like, and we just started doing it as like a mic check song.
Yeah.
And we would do like just for fun would play that song sometimes. And then we were like, fuck it, let's throw it in the set. So then we started playing it in the set. And then it was like, shit, let's just record it. Why not? Like we don't have a recording of ourselves doing it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we shot a video for it. And then it just kind of like it was one of the more organic, like it wasn't from its fruition like a thing where we were like, we're gonna strategically roll this out. It was kind of an accident where we just like
did it.
Because I'm not a guy that likes playing covers per se.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can get away with this one. No one's fucking heard this.
Yeah.
This is not like even it's a B-side of a fucking Tom Petty song. Like, no, it's literally like no one knows this song.
Yeah, so like if you were to roll out that song all over again, you could do like you guys all in a fucking porta potty. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you could do a porta potty tipped on its side, you know?
People like
the
poo.
door opens and it's fucking John on the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. Like there is a way to make that fucking staring in the camera singing the fake singing it like still on brand. You get what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
It's hard though. It's hard.
And I'm not, by the way, and I'm not trying to fucking knock anybody who does that kind of thing.
No.
But one thing I remember too, this is a fucking maybe a poor example, especially for now time, but like modern day.
Yeah.
But you guys know the band Pink Floyd?
Yes.
Do you know what they look like?
No, not really.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because fucking they're not on any album cover, and anytime you would see them in concert, it was like fucking pitch black, and the light laser shows going off. There's a pig floating through the air. They were not the center of attention ever. Yeah. They are not. By the way, they are not handsome dudes. Roger Waters, if you want to look him up, he's a fugly fella.
Really?
But they leaned into mystery. Part of what was so cool was the mystique, right? They're like, it's kind of almost their music has this weird allure of almost being spooky because you don't know what they look like. They're never on an album cover. That fucking the Dark Side of the Moon album cover is like super famous imagery. And you hear those songs and you're like, fuck, this is fucking eerie. You can't find a picture of them in their fucking album cover. And like, they did a bunch of it, but that became like their thing.
Yeah.
And like, they have a line in the one tune, Have a Cigar, where they say like, which one's Pink? Because none of them are named Pink Floyd. That's a fucking mashup of two different jazz performers. So like, where it's like, people don't even really know who they are, and they assume the lead singer must be named Pink or something. Yeah. Like, it's like they're a mystery band. And like the mystery is fucking cool. Yeah. Now, am I modeling myself after a band in the 70s? No, but
that you're right, and like
you can't be that now.
You can't beat that either.
Yeah, but you can't do that. Those guys aren't doing
thing.
Fucking. They're not appearing on camera on a podcast.
Yeah.
If you could still, I feel like the last big artist to have that level of mystery attached to them, and they were still very much on social media and stuff like that, was like X. You know, like XXXTentacion. Have you ever heard of him? XXXTentacion?
When you first said X, I thought you meant the band X. Check them out, by the way.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome band. Go on.
I feel like he was the last person to sort of embody that approach. And that approach is so like... That really is beautiful to take that approach, because you risk no one ever hearing your shit to begin with. That's like the approach Pine takes. For real.
I don't like put my face out there too much. I don't take too many photos. I like limit it, because like especially there, it's kind of inspiration from this comic book artist. He's the one that like started drawing Spider-Man back in the day. Like the first person to draw Spider-Man on comics.
Stan Lee?
It was Steve Ditko.
I know, just joking.
Yeah, and
it's like, cause that like, fucker's everywhere.
There's like there's 3 photos of him that exist. Yeah, you know what I mean? People there's 3 photos literally. He didn't take many photos. Like you don't know too much about him, but like he's so famous. You know what I mean? But it's more like he's even more famous because he's like mysterious, and like he just said like he didn't like how Stan Lee fucking wanted to take credibility for everything, and he just said fuck it one day, and he you know what I mean, he left, and you know he never did it again type shit. And but like yeah, like I kind of like that mysterious look, and like my friend like last week he was like, man, why don't you ever like, I love your art covers, like because like I always make them, they're usually painted, like a lot of detail goes into them. He's like, they're so cool, but why don't you ever put your face out there? And I'm like, well, because like, you know what I mean, it's just kind of the mysterious thing. Yeah,
I also feel like you only ever get one of those. If you're gonna put your face on an album, like that's the album. Yeah, that's it. Album. I have like one picture, like people who know like I've probably seen it because I've like posted it before, but like there's a picture of me after I got my head tattoo where my head's bleeding and it looks like I'm crying blood. And that's like a fucking, you know what I mean? Like eventually I'll use that for an album, but like you gotta think about, like there's so many things to think about with music where it's like your brand.
Don't tell Bob Dylan that. He's on the cover of every fucking one of his albums.
I know, and that's what I mean, but
just his face.
I know, and it's like gets boring though. I know, and I don't like that much. I just think that like it's crazy. There's just so many different ways to approach it.
Yeah, man.
And I just think that what would be?
There's all like. A little mystery can be good because you don't risk ever oversaturating. People aren't going to be like, enough of this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, he's in my face every time I turn on my phone. I gotta fucking see this guy again.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's what people are doing, and it's working.
Yeah.
That's great.
For sure.
And that social media tactic is fucking working. That's
Yeah.
what's going on right now. That's what's hot. But it's tough for me because I just like I that's not something that I really gravitate towards as like a I again, it's the genuine thing, but like I would far rather there be candid moments. I would rather like if you could hire a camera crew to or a person to take as much video as possible while you and the band are hanging out.
Yeah.
Leading up to the gig, hanging out at the gig, whatever, and catch little moments of actual real what we're like as people.
Yeah.
Would be far more preferential to me than like talking into a camera. I have a tough time with that shit. And I don't know what it is about me. It's just like,
and that's fair, bro.
It's something I wish I didn't have. It's a hang up of mine. But
doing a great job right now, man.
Oh, thank you.
Good podcast.
It's part of it, and like, I think that like speaking about all this is a good like wrap up thing. Sort of is like speaking about all these different ways to go about building a brand, all the hard things, and like all the fun things about doing shows, all the hard things. What advice can you give to like those young musicians who are like had anxiety like you did, like I did, like everybody did when they first started, scared to make the jump? What can you tell them that might ease them into the leap, bro?
Christ, man. You did this to me last time, too.
I know. It's a great question.
If you want advice on how to fucking be unsuccessful, you can listen to me.
Okay. Not false.
Oh, sorry. I just thought of another one, by the way, though. The Gorillas, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
Right? And I think actually most of that was to stop you from knowing who it was because Damon Albarn was already super famous for being in Blur.
Facts.
Right? So if you didn't know that was him, you'd be like, oh, what is this shit? This is cool.
Yeah, there's something I always like, too. Like, the Gorillas never knew who they were. It was like more
the mystery's fucking intriguing.
Like, more reason I only ever seen the artwork, and the videos were the artwork, right? But like they created it to come up with that, and they were already, was it YouTube or was it
Blur?
Blur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damon Albarn from Blur. Yeah, man.
And like they were already a band, but like or one of them was like and like so they just made made a whole thing that where it's not based on your face or like the person. It's a whole other
it's
thing.
all just dealing with what you're hearing, and then like there is still visual that accompanies it that makes you be like, oh, who the fuck is this? And Kiss did it too, man. Like that's a visual brand where you have no idea what those dudes. I mean, you do now. Fucking Gene Simmons doesn't want to turn the camera off, but at the time when they came out, like you didn't know what any of those guys looked like. They were these weird creatures with fucking makeup on. Like
I was thinking about that, and I'll go that's a really good, like they all painted their faces, like they have like an image, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
man.
Kind of like something like
it's very succinct and marketable.
Yeah,
and like that's one of the first bands to really, if you want to talk about selling out. Which, by the way, I like Kiss.
I love Kiss, yeah.
But like they're fucking your characters.
Yeah,
that's like a step above when the Archies made a song. I don't know if you guys know who the Archies are.
Like the comic?
Yeah, they had a song.
Oh,
you guys know Sugar do 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 do. Oh, honey, honey. That's by the Archies. It's by that's by a cartoon.
What the fuck?
Sugar.
Yeah.
Yo, you know Green Day?
Yes.
They did a thing where like they had another band. It was them, but they all wore masks. I forget the name of it, but they would do tours while they would open up for Green Day, and then they go backstage, take their stuff off, and then they play, and like no one noticed. Like no one knew. It was just them put it together, right? And so like they would be booking their shows like on
and be like, oh, we found this band open for us.
But they'd be also doubling their money too.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be like,
Pink Floyd used to do that with The Wall when they performed The Wall. They have this track that starts the whole. It's a concept album. It starts the whole album. And there's like a reprise of the fucking track later on. Okay. So the first time that opens the show, they always had a band from around there perform it. Yeah. So like there's like a famous DVD of this, but people didn't know what they looked like, so they would lose their shit, being like, "Holy fuck, it's Pink Floyd!" And then the song would end, and the actual guys would rise up from under the stage, and they'd be like, "I mean, this is Pink Floyd. I knew that." Like. Because you're just like, what the fuck? Yeah, man. It's pretty funny. It was like fucking with the audience, being like, you don't even know what we look like. You'll cheer for anything, you fucking peasants.
Exactly. That's back to like that crowd control thing.
Yes. No. I didn't mean to dodge your question of advice.
I would never let you.
Again, I think I said this last time. The only advice I can really give is to fucking perform as much as possible. Yeah. I don't know, that's not what you want to hear, but
That's advice because the more I perform, the more I'm comfortable with it too. I just, you know what I mean?
It's not the part you're doing it for, which isn't for everybody, by the way. I just like the main thing I have realized is that like there's no substitute for experience. If you're ever being choosy about a gig, you're not fucking doing what you should be doing. Like you play anywhere for anybody whenever possible, and if there isn't a gig available, create a gig. Yeah. Fucking make one up. Go fucking
Basement vibes ever.
Yeah, and honestly, even rent something, rent a fucking acoustic if you don't have one. Yeah. And or fucking bring this out with a fucking Bluetooth speaker. Go to Montebello Park or wherever you are and put on a fucking show. Who's gonna stop you? Go busk somewhere. Yeah. Perform as much as possible. And now, I mean, with this shit, like, you can fucking do live streams all the time and shit, and that's still performing, like, technically.
Yeah, especially, like, COVID times.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's what, like, a lot of people had to do. I remember Post Malone did, like, this, like, Nirvana.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Little, like, concert gig, and, like, so they had, like, the live stream. Like, he had the guy playing the drums, and he was there singing. Yep. Someone else was at home playing the guitar. But, like, it was a whole little, like, thing for Nirvana, I believe. Like, yep. Whatever anniversary little show they did for them.
Yeah, man, it was very cool.
Yeah. Oh, one question I wanted to ask, just what are the other mates' names?
Oh, we got
members.
Dan Hyatt is our bass player. Okay. Danny, cool. Sweetheart Danny, and John Fetchin is our drummer.
Shout out John too.
John Boy, he's John Boy and
John
Danny.
Boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out the members.
Where are you guys based out of?
So, St. Catharines.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah, we're all from St. Danny lives in Fun Hill right now, but he's from St. Catharines.
That's awesome. I didn't know.
Born and raised boys. Yeah.
Fucking real Kevin, baby. That's as real as it fucking gets. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you guys. He's laying down the tracks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, if you guys want it, go get it. Just a friendly reminder that you're one day closer to dying, so that's also motivation too.
Sorry.
It is what it is, baby. Yeah. It's been real, Jay. Thank you for coming on and doing this again, bro.
It was
such a pleasure, bro.
Amazing.
Nice.
Big shout out. Where can the people find you?
Everything is realkevintheband.com. Has all of our shit, all of our links to everything. But if you're looking for like same thing, Spotify, all that junk is Real Kevin the Band.
Real Kevin.
Thank you for wearing that shirt. Very
come
kind
out
of
to a gig, buy a fucking t-shirt. You know, show some love. These guys fucking rock.
at Warehouse should be fun.
These guys kill it, bro.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. Hey, thank you guys.
I'll be there. I haven't seen you perform yet, so I would like to.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Sincerely, might have to fucking pull through indeed, yo. After that fucking ham, you know what I'm saying?
Vlog going on.
That's it.
And I still plan on coming back to interview you sometime as well.
That's right. Jay has claimed the first full Caleb Fast interview on the Sincerely platform. We will fucking book that soon, so you guys can, you know, hear about me and fucking what I got going on. And
shit, yeah.
Can I co-host that?
Of course, I would love to have you.
Fuck yeah. Thank you guys always for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, go follow everybody. Tag below, tagged above. Stay up, drink water, find God. Yeah. And of course, we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace. Stay blessed.
Peace out.